the libraries. On Sunday, there's going to be 5 different facilities open, and that's going to be a mixture of the downtown library, 2 parks community centers, and then 2 multi-service centers. OEM is also monitoring the ERCOT grid conditions. We look at demand, we look at capacity, and we look at reserves, operating reserves. CenterPoint advised us about an hour ago that they do not anticipate having any problems or outages this weekend, so I think we're going to be in good shape. In addition to some of the information that you'll be provided here today, I'd like to encourage everybody to review our disaster preparedness guide. Provides information on checklists, information, directions on how to keep people safe during several emergencies. You can find this on our website, houstonoem.org. That's houstonoem.org under the disaster preparedness section. It's also available in 6 different languages. Here today I have one book in English and 1 book in Spanish. The same website, you can find information on our cooling centers, tips to stay cool, hurricane hazards, and then emergency preparedness. And since we're in hurricane season, now's the time to make a plan, build a kit, stay informed, and as the mayor said, help your neighbors. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I do want to add, because we're anticipating that the temperatures are going to be higher this summer. Climate change is real. We're anticipating that there will be weather events. So this will also be a good time to really start stacking up on water. So such that, for example, when a hurricane does come, you're not having to rush to the stores. It's going to be hot. You need to stay hydrated anyway. So take those measures into account. So that we're not having to rush to get ready to get prepared. Dr. Peirce.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to talk a little bit about the 3 common heat illnesses, and people often think that they are along a spectrum, that you get one and then the next and the other. That sometimes happens, but that's not necessarily the case. The 3 illnesses are heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. And you can develop any one of those as your initial symptom, and it's important to understand the differences. Now, heat cramps are what they feel like. You get a muscle cramp. Your calf, commonly outside running, playing tennis, just doing gardening, whatever, and the muscle spasms up, easily taken care of. Get hydrated, get into something cool, let the muscle rest, not a big deal. Heat exhaustion is a little bit different. It is what it sounds like. You get exhausted. People just all of a sudden feel like they are very, very exhausted, tired, fatigued, maybe a little bit short of breath. They're generally sweating profusely, and that is heat exhaustion. It can come on quite suddenly. Again, easily treated by getting out of the heat, getting hydrated, taking it easy probably for the rest of the day. The last one is heat stroke. This is a true life-threatening emergency. And yes, you can go from normal right into heat stroke. Heat stroke is extremely dangerous. It occurs when your body's cooling mechanisms are overwhelmed and your body stops cooling itself. The hallmark symptoms, which people need to watch out for, the 2 hallmark symptoms are 1, confusion. Often the first symptom is somebody gets confused, which means they are no longer able to take care of themselves, which means we cannot expect them to get out of the heat and in the air conditioning. Somebody else is going to have to recognize the confusion and help them. That is often coupled with dry skin. I said that it occurs when your body's cooling mechanisms get overwhelmed. Well, your prime cooling mechanism is to sweat. And so what happens is your body stops sweating. It is a dysfunction of your body. It's a malfunction. You stop sweating, you stop cooling, your temperature goes up, and your brain begins to dysfunction. So this is really important when we're talking about people who are outdoors, particularly people who are working outdoors. Their co-workers need to be watching out for each other so that if heat stroke occurs, they quickly get that person out of the heat and call 911. This isn't something you're going to be able to take care of. These people have got body core temperatures of 104, 105. They need to be taken care of at a hospital. It is a true, rapidly dangerous, life-threatening emergency. And again, the hallmarks are confusion, hot, red, dry skin. They stop sweating. And somebody needs to be watching out for them. So one of my asks for employers of people who work in hot environments like outdoors, or even somebody who works in a hot kitchen and usually steps outside to cool off, they're going to step outside today into another hot environment. So if you're that employer, you need to start thinking now about what you did last year and the year before and the year before that, and that is to adjust your work schedules. Make sure people get longer breaks. Maybe you start earlier in the morning, maybe you take longer break in the middle of the day and work later at night. You've done this every year before. The point is, this is the weekend to start doing that. We're at that point in our summer, so we'll do those things. And then the last thing I want to remind folks is that we talk about the rule of L's. So you wear lightweight, lightly colored, loose-fitting clothes, and drink plenty of liquids. But when we talk about liquids, that does not mean beer or alcohol. Alcohol stimulates your kidneys and will dehydrate you more quickly. It does not mean sugary drinks with lots of caffeine in them. The caffeine will stimulate your kidneys and dehydrate you more quickly. And also the high sugar content will stimulate your kidneys and dehydrate you more quickly. The sports drinks are fine. You ought to think about diluting them a little bit. And water. So again, lightweight, loose-fitting, lightly colored clothes, plenty of liquids, but not alcohol, not sugary drinks, especially those with caffeine. Drink water, sports drinks diluted. That should keep you safe. Look out for each other. Reinforce what the mayor said. We also worry about elder folks. So if you got neighbors, check out on them. They may be trying to conserve money by not running their air conditioning. Take them shopping. Let's go to the mall. Let's go to a movie with the elder person down the street. Get in some air conditioning. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Purvis. Chief Pena.
Thank you, Mayor. So, as has been mentioned up here, a potentially dangerous stretch of hot days is expected. And, we've been speaking about what the city is doing, opening up cooling centers and some of the recommendations that the doctor mentioned. But I also want to stress, and I want to be mindful that we all have a responsibility to adjust our activities to ensure that we're taking care of our health. The doctor mentioned that heat stroke can happen from 0 to a dire emergency in a matter of minutes. So it's important for us to be mindful of what we're doing, especially if we're working outdoors. The number of calls for us, it seems that this year started early as far as the increase in the number of heat-related calls. If we average the last 3 years between April and May, we've seen an almost 130% increase in the number of heat-related calls that we've responded to here in the city of Houston, from an average of about 45 calls per month to an average of about 104 in this last April and May. So that's significant. From May to June, we normally see the call volume go up, but this year we've seen an average of 230% increase, from 60 to about 199. So again, it's those activities that we do each and every day. It's hot outside. It's going to be hot. Be mindful of what you're doing. The heat-related deaths that we've experienced are also a concern for us. This year, in 2022, we've already seen 2 heat-related deaths in the city of Houston. So it's important to remember that heat emergencies can occur not only outdoors, but indoors. Be mindful of that. We want you guys to look out for the signs of heat illnesses: dizziness, nausea, headaches, muscle cramps. Those are the things that we need to be mindful for. Stay hydrated. Don't wait until you're thirsty to drink something. That is a late sign of dehydration. For kids, flushed skin, dry lips, tongue, that's an early sign of dehydration. So don't wait till you experience that, and especially for the younger kids. Crankiness, irritability, those are definite signs of dehydration. Let's be mindful of that. As we focus on the heat, we also have other things that we need to be concerned about. Each year, almost 50 children die in hot vehicles across the country. It doesn't take much for the inside temperature of that vehicle to heat up. It can go up about 20 degrees in 10 minutes. It doesn't matter if you're in the shade or not. So be mindful. Don't leave your children, your pets, or adults that may have some disabilities unattended inside a hot vehicle. Heat stroke can happen in a matter of minutes. A child's organs begin to fail at when their core temperature is about 104 degrees. And as you can see from this graphic, it doesn't take a lot of minutes for that to occur. At 107 degree core temperature, heat stroke and death can occur. So again, it doesn't matter if you're just going to be going inside the store for a couple minutes. Do not leave your children, your pets, or an adult with disabilities inside a car unattended. We will see, I expect, it happens every year, and it's a tragedy that can be prevented. The other thing is, we're focusing on the heat-related emergencies, but we are going to see, unfortunately, a lot more drownings than we see heat stroke deaths. So as we look for ways to cool off during the summer, please be mindful of your children. Do not leave them unattended in near bodies of water. It doesn't have to be a pool. A child can drown in just a few inches of water. So be mindful of the children, especially around water, and let's all work together to ensure that we have a safe summer. Look after your neighbors, especially those the elderly and those that may be more susceptible to the heat. Thank you. En español. Bueno, estamos esperando un tramo potencialmente peligroso de días calurosos aquí en la ciudad de Houston, y ahora estamos hablando de lo que la ciudad de Houston está preparando para poder atender a esas personas que no puedan estar en un centro frío. La ciudad de Houston va a abrir centros de enfriamiento. La información va a estar presente en el sitio web de la ciudad de Houston. También nosotros queremos recomendarles que pongan precaución y que se preparen para esta temporada calurosa, que tomen bastante agua, que eviten estar fuera cuando está caluroso y que sepan los síntomas de una insolación, porque eso puede ocurrir pronto, puede ocurrir de un momento a otro. Así es que tenemos que tener precaución. Si estamos trabajando fuera o si estamos adentro de un hogar que no tenga aire acondicionado, tengan esas precauciones. Hay centros de enfriamiento que están abiertos. El alcalde Turner y los miembros que están aquí del Departamento de Salud y del Departamento de Emergencias tienen la información en su sitio web. Por favor, acudan a esos sitios para tomar información, para mantenerse seguros en este tiempo de verano.
Thank you, Chief. And then also just one reminder, the cooling center is open to everyone. They will be open to our seniors, children, families, those who are homeless, and then we'll have people going out and about checking on our homeless as well. We want to thank Mark Eichenbaum for his assistance on those initiatives. And then for people who may need transportation, Metro is available, no cost. They will be more than happy to take you to any one of the cooling centers at no cost. So please be mindful of that, take advantage of that. In some cases, people may just want to get on the bus just to cool off. Okay, so we want people to be mindful of their health. That's why we want to stress the importance of all of these things. So do that. It's going to be hot, and it's going to be hot as we're now into June, through June and July, as we deal with everything else. Having said that, if there are any questions to any one of these gentlemen, this would be a good time.
Do you want to stay up here? I know you've been having a problem with the city pools. You're really down lifeguards, right? I think you've got 40 or something, and you need 147. And these pools, that's a way for a lot of people to kind of cool off. A lot of them are closed. Where are you on that?
There are 37 pools. I think we have enough lifeguards now for about 12 of them. Just today, for example, I talked with Director Allen. We're increasing the hourly rate again for lifeguards, anywhere now between $15 to $20 an hour. We're increasing the sign-in bonus from $300 to $500 just for our lifeguards. So we're doing everything we can to encourage people to come and sign up. The pools are operational, most of them. We just need the lifeguard. So again, we're increasing the hourly rate anywhere from $15 to $20 an hour, and a sign-up bonus instead of $300, I've authorized to go up to $500. Trying to get people there. That would be an excellent way for our kids and other family members to cool off. So, thank you for asking that question. Anything else? Anything else?
On a different topic, you're a U of H grad,
Yes, sir.
alumni. How do you feel about, it's going to be sooner than expected, joining what do you think?
Going to the Big 12, we're leaving ACC, going to the Big 12. as of, I think, July 1 of next year. So all of those teams are already in the Big 12. You got the Coug coming your way. No, nobody wants to meet that Cougar. So no, it's good for the University of Houston program. Quite frankly, it's good for the city, and it just tells you how far we've come. You know, for when I was at University of Houston, it was referred to as Cougar High. No longer, people don't say Cougar High anymore. And then we've kind of bounced around in different sort of categories, but now headed towards and we'll be playing in the Big 12. I'm excited about that. I give a great deal of credit to the chancellor, to the Board of Regents, to the players, to the fans, to the alumni. But it will be a great time. So I'm very excited. Okay. All right. Having said that, let me thank you all, and then to those who are going to be a number of events tomorrow, marches and stuff. Please keep the weather in mind. And then, of course, the following week is the Juneteenth weekend. There are a number of events planned for that, for then, parades, you name it. Please be mindful of the weather. But to our seniors, let me say to our seniors, I know your gas, medicine, utility bills, but do not be in your home in a lot of heat if your air conditions work. Please turn on your air condition, and then we'll deal with everything else later. Okay? Thank you so very much.
Mayor, a quick question just about how gas prices are affecting the city.
No habla inglés, solamente español. What was that now?
How the city is being affected from the gas prices?
We've had to adjust our budget upwards. Bear in mind, I mean, you've got our fleet, and we've got a huge fleet. When you factor in our police officers' vehicles for the police department, the fire department, solid waste, public works, Department of Neighborhood, all of these departments have vehicles. And it's not like we get a discount, okay? And it's not like we can park our vehicles. So the city of Houston is open 24/7. Regardless of what the price per gallon is, we have to be prepared to roll, okay? We need it for public safety. We need to keep people healthy. We need it for inspections. So we've had to adjust our budget up. And just like it's costing people who are going to work every day, moms, dads, parents, you name it, they're paying more at the pump. So are we at the city of Houston. Okay, it's hitting all of us. Okay, thank you all so very much. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Mayor. Thanks.